Everyone, and welcome to our Tours at 10. We have, I think, one of the coolest objects in the collection to show you. This is a really cool thing, and frankly, a really important part of not only Vermont's history, but of the nation's history. So thanks for joining us. Check this out. All right, so here we go. Jamie Franklin, our curator. Jamie, you have found one of the coolest objects. Why don't you give us a rundown of what you've got?
So this is one of those great things that if you're just walking through storage and taking a look at the shelves and you see this sitting on a shelf, you'd think that's about the boringest thing you could possibly imagine. But in fact, as Josh has already said, it's really one of the great cool objects in our collection. So this is actually an incendiary device. So Edward H. Ripley, a native of Rutland, was a officer in the Civil War for the Union cause. He advanced through the ranks throughout the extent of the war, during the duration of the war, rising up. And by the end of the war, he was leading one of the Vermont groups, the Vermont troops, into Richmond. And when the Union troops captured Richmond, Virginia, which was the capital of the Confederacy, Edward H. Ripley was put in charge of the city. And this was essentially the end of the Civil War when the Unions captured the capital of the Confederacy. And so Edward H. Ripley, in charge of the city, went in, and this object was sitting on Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy's desk in his office. And so what this is, it's a piece of cast iron that's been made to look like a piece of coal. And you can see here, it's got a little hole in it. It's got little threads so that you could plug it up. You stuff it full of gunpowder or some other sort of explosive device, and the Confederate soldiers would take this and put it in a coal bin of the Union Army, who would then put it into one of their steam-powered ships, and it would explode. So that this was obviously transportation of goods and people during the Civil War were really one of the keys to how the Confederacy and the Union were trying to defeat one another. And so this was actually a great kind of object of Civil War history with local ties that looks like a lump of coal, because that's what it's supposed to look like, but it's a great piece of Civil War history.
You go, you never know what you're going to find in the collection storage at the Bennington Museum. What a great piece of history. You know, the Civil War, those were difficult times too, just like these are difficult times. If you're enjoying these series that we're bringing you here at Tours at 10, I encourage you to share them with your friends and family, share them on Facebook, help us get the word out. Like other businesses and organizations, Bennington Museum is not immune to the current economic crisis the pandemic has caused, and we could use your help and your support. If you're so inclined, buy a membership, make a donation, any bit helps. Mainly, we appreciate you tuning in and being with us. Although we're not physically close, the fact that we're all connecting here on Facebook gives me comfort knowing that you're all out there enjoying this and that we can carry on our mission even though we're during these crazy times. We can't wait to see you back here in the galleries, and we can't wait to see you next time at Tours at 10. Thank you so much. Stay safe.